Welcome back to Central Coast Disc Golf. This is round 2 from the 2023 Beaver State Fling, presented by Innova. I'm your host, Nate Perkins, and I'm joined here today with my good friend, Connor O'Reilly. And Connor, was this not one of the finest days of disc golf that we've ever had?
There aren't many words to describe the type of weather and settings we have out here for the Beaver State Fling 2023. Round 2 might have seen a tick more wind than day 1, but you can't ask for better weather, and we have some hot scores coming in to round 2. A slew of players in double digits, and everyone else in that top 10 is only 2 back at the most, so anyone's game today trying to jockey for that final round positioning. We start off with a bomber hole 1, 455 feet. But the line is tightened down by these branches over here on the left we're about to fly past. And then these 2 trees hanging out by the FPO pin position are really going to be the branches that you have to clear in order to give yourself a birdie look. It's going to be a tough one to get, especially as the starting hole. These players will have that little bit of extra jitters. And a hole like this, you mix it in the middle, like I said yesterday, could play significantly easier birdie rate wise, but it's going to be a tough ask starting off.
Tied with the lead. Part of Team Lone Star. Make some noise for Nico Locastro.
And what a treat of a card we have today, you guys. We have 2 legends in the game. Nico Locastro, Garrett Gurthie, veterans. Been on the tour for a long time. Been there, done that. And then we have Aaron Gossage, Anthony Barela, 2 young players with great firepower, looking to continue to make a name for themselves.
I think this is Nico's 16th year on the tour, Connor.
Yeah, he's just... the shape he keeps himself in just really keeps him going out there. Nico is always primed and ready.
And also sharing some of the lead. He throws Discraft discs. Be loud for Anthony Barela!
So Anthony's walking off the course yesterday after his 11 under par effort, and I witnessed an interaction with a fan who said, "This is your weekend, Anthony. You'll finally finish a tournament."
Oh no.
Next on the tee.
What a savage.
It was really savage.
Some people just...
For Garrett Gurthie!
some people think their moment to be funny or to have interaction with the player is bigger than the player's actual just humanity. And come on, let's be better than that.
And
Anthony Barela is an amazing player.
He's an amazing player, and I think that the fan base just now has this expectation of him to get a win, and I can't blame him. I think he's one of the most talented players every weekend, and I think we're all ready for a dub.
Yeah.
Let him hear it, Aaron Gossage!
Another Discraft player rounding out the card. Aaron Gossage put himself in contention to win at OTB last weekend. He's just such a fiery competitor. Yeah, AB has all the firepower that any player could ever ask for, and one day he'll put it all together. Until then, just keep chipping away, AB. Bit low from Gossage. It was a good looking line. Otherwise, I believe he told me he's been throwing his Onyx here on hole 1. A little bit slower just to try to hold that straight line.
Maybe taking a look at the hole average there. Just 14% of the field carding a birdie here in the second round. It's a tough shape to start off your round with.
Wow. Strong putt out of Gossage. No jump necessary from C2.
Now, I know you practiced with Aaron this week a bit, Connor. You filmed a YouTube video with him. Were you able to chat with him about his performance at OTB? Is he one to talk about, you know, the way that he kind of lost his putt on the back nine of that event?
He absolutely is. He is full aware that his putt is kind of the one thing that's holding him back at times right now. He even has been trying to change it to more, even like especially on the closer ones. You'll notice today he's going with more of a kind of spinny putt, and he's really trying to start to extend that type of putt throughout the rest of his range. But yeah, Aaron, he told me like, yeah, that back nine, I just couldn't make a putt, and he said there was a putt on hole 11, I think. Actually, I was across the way playing 17. He was like, I saw you over there, and I was like, I'm gonna make this putt, and like he knew that he made that probably would have been a big momentum shift, because Emerson had just kind of grabbed a little momentum, but he caged it from maybe 22, 25 feet, and I think he said that one kind of shook him a little bit, whereas he makes that, he felt really good about his chances to win, he told me. But that's a strong putt to start off there.
Hole 2, one of the classic holes out here. It's right along the river's edge. River is on your right the entire way. There's a fence right there that marks out of bounds. You're really trying to shape something around the corner and land near that FPO tee pad. That significantly opens up the second part of this fairway. You want to get around this last cypress tree right there on the left, and then from there you can attack the final stretch of this fairway. And as we get close to the green, bunch of low ceiling branches and some late guardian trees at 25 feet. Beautiful.
And like Nate mentioned yesterday, something I think we all love as players and fans about par 5s is you can throw good shots repeatably throughout the hole, throughout different days, but you're going to find different spots and you're going to have slightly different variants of these shots. Aaron playing flippy roller, getting it right in front of the FPO tee pad. I've seen him put it there a couple times, and that is a great spot to be. He'll have 2 power forehands into the green if his game plan goes how he wants it to. That looks a little stood up from Nico. Not quite enough flip. And he is going to be in a trickier spot. He's going to have to either contend with that low kind of middle gap, or maybe he'll have that sky roller to the left of the big pine.
And I've heard stories of the rollers that AB has been throwing on the course this week. Really looking forward to seeing what he does.
Wow.
And it's got the distance, but it's just so much more pinched over there. It forces you into a low ceiling second shot.
I think he found an opening, but if he was even 3 feet left of where he landed, he probably doesn't even have a shot.
Garrett laying this one down late in the flight.
He's looking to find that same spot as Anthony, but he pushes a little bit too far, catches that big fir tree that is really the obstacle to be anywhere but right behind it or in it. And yeah, Nico has that big flex or roller out to the left. I actually had that same spot yesterday, and it's a pretty repeatable play. There's not much out there in your way after that first tree he had in front of him. Ooh.
Oh.
Aaron cracks over on that nuke forehand and just not quite enough stability to fight back. He's going to have a trickier lie than he would have liked.
Oh, and just enough airspace to go roller.
You know when AB catches his hat, something good's about to happen.
This is huge.
Most players are happy to get past that second big pine tree in the middle, and Anthony's like 150, 200 feet past that, you guys.
Yeah, he probably has 150 into the green.
Okay, so Garrett was very fortunate to not be inside that tree, and this is looking like a massively laid down roller. Hopefully it doesn't flip out too fast. Wow.
Both of those rollers are coming out at 70 plus miles per hour. Those are huge.
Yeah, having the ability to throw a putter into this green is rare, so very luxurious to have those big power rollers on this hole. Aaron, once again, just a little bit too much turn out of the hand. Definitely a hole he was looking to give himself a look on and keep putting the pressure on the leaders. Oh, he's tied for the lead, so he doesn't want to pressure himself. But Nico, mere feet from clearing for a possible birdie look.
One of the holes out here that has consistently played over par over the years.
Anthony does a standstill chip up zone shot, but catches an unfortunate final tree bunker, and he's got some meat on that putt. Great touch by Nico. Ooh.
It still had a chance for birdie, even after a couple of burned over forehands.
Yeah, that putt made me a believer for a second. Just a little more pace, and he would have made good. Anthony, strong putt into the heart of the chains. We know if Anthony makes putts, he's always a dangerous player. Yeah, Aaron told me even on his longer jumpers, he's just trying to get just more spin, more direct, less loft.
Yep. Here it makes the correction after that low miss on the opening hole.
Tap in pars from Locastro and Gossage as we head to the third. Watching Anthony rip a power shot is just a thing of beauty. Look at that extension, you guys. Jumps through on that right foot to avoid the extra torque he puts on that body. Wow. And hole 3. It's a power par 3. 400 feet, but seems to play deceivingly long sometimes. A lot of times the wind will kind of be funneling through this tunnel at you or off the river on your right side. Once again, similar to hole 1, we have some overhanging branches on the left and the right, really shaping this line. You're going to have to kind of narrowly avoid the ones on the right if you want to put some flex on it, or just play a laser beam shot and put yourself close on this mounded green that can cause some tricky rollaways.
I believe AB's going buzz here.
Yeah, you'll see the top of the field power-wise ripping on mids here. And it does hold the line the best. If you can throw slower disc, the straighter line is always going to be easier to achieve, assuming you can hit the angle right. Aaron going with a Buzz OS that he has kind of beat to snot, and he's been getting some good straight flights out of this one.
Buzz OS? Wow.
Yeah.
That's it. That's his style. He really does love to just rip over on an overstable disc.
Yeah, Aaron loves keeping the disc low to the ground, hammering it on a touch of turn, or even just really flat. And Aaron actually throws a 2-finger power grip, unlike almost any player on the tour.
And Nico just a little quick to the front of the tee pad there. You could see his weight just kind of left him, and he threw that one in the ground. And that's an unfortunate miss. That's the type of miss that can kind of get in your head.
Yeah, for sure. This is a hole. Nico coming in tied as the leader into this hole, or I guess one off the lead. Like, he needs to give himself an opportunity to score here on the third, to not feel that pressure starting to mount, and unfortunately unable to do so here. Aaron electing to lay up. Definitely not a green that you want to give half goes on. Garrett's trying to make a decision, but chooses the soft, floaty layup. Anthony has no layup in his mind. Gonna have a little comeback, but not too far. Just there at the bottom of the hill, maybe 20 feet. Stripes that one. I really love his how he's kind of embraced the snake as his logo, because I think so much of like a snake, the way he just strikes that putt in there and how much quickness and power he has in this game. Nico sets that one in there softly. Yeah, especially on these tap outs. Oh, Aaron went to the pitch there. I guess the uphill lie maybe made him feel a little bit less forward with his weight, so he didn't feel as good about his little spinner. Strong putt, nice and high. Gets it to stick. And through 3 holes, Yannon Burr, only player in the top 10, 3 through 3. We know the kind of damage he can do when he is chasing down the leader.
Katrina Allen! Maria Oliva! She's done it! Kristen Tatar!
Side, Ananda!
Stacy Galadia!
Champion Oakland and Austin!
Paige Pierce!
By investing in real estate, you're opening the door for generational wealth for you and your loved ones. Contact me, Matthew Bailey, to get started today.
Nearly identical shape here on 3 and 4. This one just a touch shorter and a bit more of a low ceiling as we approach the green. And OB deep. It came into play during round 1 coverage. Definitely one of the holes most players are hoping to at least give themselves a putt on.
Yeah, especially the way you can kind of choose the same line, except for Anthony going, I've heard about this.
I heard about this
spike
line too from him.
Oh, you hear me in the background. I was on hole 14 and they were playing on 4, and they we let them go instead of them yielding to the higher hole, so I kind of gave them a hard time about it. Aaron going back to that same Buzz OS, slightly overturned, but just beats that last tree.
I can't believe he's throwing Buzz OS on.
Yeah, when he told me that, I was very surprised. I mean, obviously that's a straight Buzz OS, but even then, you got to have power to make a Buzz OS straight. Nico with a slight overturn there. Maybe tried to adjust for the last early release and ended up a little bit late there. He's got to find that rhythm.
Garrett just smoothing this T-bird. The way he just has that nose gently up, just controlling the pace on that. That's beautiful.
Couple degrees of nose up, couple degrees of wing turn. Let it fight. Nico tries to give that one a good run. He needs to find his rhythm off the tee if he wants to start to jockey himself back up into that leader position. Anthony's putt never drops for him. Aaron, high right from 25. Barela makes good on the comebacker. Garrett shows the card. How to do it here on the 4th. So many different putting styles on this card. A little bit of everything. Gossage with that pitchy spinner, get the nose down, a little bit of hyzer. here we have hole 5. You can take the right side of these two trees as the drone's flying, or the more common left side where you'll see players taking backhand flex shots or backhand rollers to get way up there. The right side kind of seems a little easier to avoid the trouble, but also it's harder to get yourself up there for the birdie. A lot of good shots will end up somewhere around here. The best shots might even get right to this corner here. Either way, if you execute your tee shot, it's going to be a short approach somewhere probably less than 200 feet. Let's see how these players like to attack it.
Ooh, good little kick out into the fairway. Was kind of expecting to see the big roller from Aaron.
Yeah, he's liking that air shot. I don't know. I think Aaron does throw some rollers, but I don't think he throws a ton of them.
Heard AB had a putt on this hole during round 1.
Back to that same disc he was rolling on hole 2.
This is great angle, Connor.
Come on.
Oh, just a bit too much cut.
Yeah, that long grass is going to kill any chances of getting back right.
But he's going to be looking
But
at
he's
the
still
pin.
pin high. That's so powerful. That's crazy, y'all. No one gets into that long grass that early and has a pin high look.
He actually said that his trouble with this hole was that he kept going deep in practice. Kept going OB long.
AB, you got to go down to a 9 speed there, brother. Nico playing a pretty mind's eye shot right there. He's going to be looking at the basket as well. Gossage going to the spike forehand. Looking to dig it down. And yeah, that'll do. This is definitely a hole you want to be hanging around those bullseye whiskers for your birdie putt. Garrett throws a little bit better of a shot. Won't have to make that highlight putt that he did round 1. Anthony going zone OS, looks like. Ooh. Maybe tried to chip that one in softly and left a little bit of pace off it. You could tell.
The man goes for everything these days.
He really does. And maybe one day when he learns to temper that fire, that's when we'll see him pick up that first W. But when you got that much firepower, it's so hard to quell it, you know, you gotta let it show.
Nico looking to get himself on the board. Oh yeah. Not Garrett's favorite distance, but looked really comfortable on that delivery from 28 feet.
I feel like he's been having a strong putting season.
And we've got to give a shout out to our boy Kevin Jones for carding the 2 on this hole. I had the pleasure of watching him hit a 45-foot putt.
Oh, so you must have been on 14.
For the
I was on the tee
Eagle
of 7, so we could see the green over there. We saw all 3 players fist bump him, and he was double fist bumping. I was like, that had to be the big bird, and it was. Good on you, Kev Jones. It's definitely there. I think if you're willing to throw that wide rim driver on the roller here, you can definitely give yourself long looks. Double G making the hydrate. It is humid out here, and the sun will definitely sap your energy a little bit. Look at that follow through leg. Garrett is a sneakily impressive athlete, and if you ever watch the disc come out of his hands, there's nothing sneaky about that power.
Hole 6 is one of the tougher par 3s on the Riverbend Gold layout. 450 feet, but just the shape required. Really have to go high if you want to park this one. You're not really going to get too many skips out of this thick grass here. At less than 10% of the field putting from circle 1. A
little early for Gossage. That is going to be very troublesome. Depending on how far you clear in there's some spots where up and down for par is almost out of the question without hitting like a circle 2 or circle 1's edge putt. If Garrett clears the stuff with that line, okay. I was going to be disgusted.
Yeah, that would have been wicked if he had it. That was just a little too high.
Ooh, this can fight. Wow, the power to fight through and still possibly have a look? Anthony Barela.
Whoa.
That's pretty insane. He probably
Yeah,
would
that
have been
chopped
30
down a
deep.
lot.
Yeah. Nico playing more of that flex over stable line. Looks to be well executed.
Yeah, pure's the line right there. That was a beautiful shape from Nico.
Yeah, a lot of times when you feel like you threw the shot perfectly, you end up just being kind of on the right side of the basket. Aaron found a forehand window out of nothing. Wow, I'd like to see what that line looked like, but he found that little pocket at the end and really hit it well. Double G has such a well-rounded touch game. It almost shows it off there. Well, he does show it off, but almost rewarded for it. Nico, very good putt. Like Nate said, the 6 is a tough get. Less than 2 handfuls of birdies on the day.
There's 2 of them right there.
No, that was
Pardon
that
me,
par.
that was
Yeah.
his par save.
Really good part. Like I said, though, a lot of times coming, if you're short early on this one, it's hard to get yourself up there parked for an easy tap in. You got work to do.
That was our look at a second birdie, and here Anthony bit upset at that miss. Just a little on the left side, fast enough to not catch.
Yeah, who knows? A less pacey putter might have got a drop there, but Nico showing the card how to do it.
Had a chance to chat with Nico after his first round, and he said that he felt like it was his first good round all season.
Yeah, I feel like as a player, when you have that top level talent, a lot of times you put most of the round together, but 1 or 2 holes kind of hold you back from that hot score, and good on you putting it all together, staying focused, Nico. Hole 7, one of my favorite holes on the track, and I'm sure Nate's as well. This tree we're about to fly to the left of right here is really the key off the tee. If you can beat this, you are in the birdie position. If not, it's going to be really tough. This approach will make you tighten up a little bit as you have some low ceiling branches and this out of bounds road to navigate. One little skinny tree to kind of deal with at the end that doesn't have too much effect most of the time, but definitely a birdie that takes one good power accurate shot and then one good touch accurate shot coming into the green.
Fantastic, man.
With the lower ceiling throughout this drive, you'll see a lot of players kind of playing a flat or drag over shot on kind of a stable disc, whereas the hyzer flip just uses a little too much airspace here. Aaron slipped on the tee. He did mention to me during our practice round he needed a new pair of those idios. They were getting a little smooth on the bottom for him, so maybe something that affected him there.
Some of these tee pads actually have like little pebbles in them, and if you unfortunately step like right on the center of a pebble, sometimes you'll spin out on it.
Yeah, it's interesting to note we have a lot of different tee surfaces out here. There's regular concrete, some of it's kind of notched. So yeah, we have at least 4 or 5 different surfaces out of these concrete tees, and it can have some effect. Anthony looks
Just
like he
all
kind of saws
hyzer.
it off, but great spot to be. And I don't hate being left on the left side of the landing zone on this one because it allows you to play a hyzer angle over the road and not have to get flat, trust the flat line.
Quality forehand roller there from Gossage.
Yeah, if you don't beat that first pine tree off the tee, most players are just going to elect to try to take a par here. It's a hole that you know if you mess around, it can come back to bite you. Aaron trusting the forehand out over the road, but it just lands flat.
Oh, that is a huge mistake. Throwing his third onto the road. He's looking at a double bogey at best here.
Oh, and I said that tree doesn't have much effect, but Anthony finds its 3-inch across trunk. Garrett going flippy rock. He does magic with these things.
Catches a little bit of that late left to right wind. Keeps it in the air.
Definitely one of the more iconic approaches on the course. One that on paper, distance-wise, most of these players are going to be feasting on. Nico almost squares the same little trunk. Wow, that tree said, "Don't talk crap about me, Connor. I'm strong." Aaron with some damage control there. Gonna need to bounce back and score a birdie here on 8.
I'm feeling some frustration right now on this card.
Yeah, definitely. Anthony can't figure out his putt. Early release left, pulling it right. Nico, 2 great putts in a row.
That's a big moment right there to save par from circle 2. Let's see what he does with it.
Definitely a sigh of relief for Nico, I'm sure. And Garrett able to take the lone birdie with that beautiful champion rock turnover. He almost throws that disc in place of like where a lot of people throw some kind of a straight putter. He just has it so seasoned in and has so many throws on it. He just trusts it.
Yeah, he's got probably some of the best speed control. He will throw driver, go down tempo. I mean, here he's going 12 speed. It's going wraith there.
Yeah, Garrett's combination of power and the variety of touch shots he has is definitely unlike many other players in the game.
Hole 8, another classic, the stump hole. This played as the easiest hole on the course once again. Looking to push a hyzer around the corner. You're left with 300 or less into the most picturesque green in the game. Basket perched up on this stump. The local disc golf club here in Portland is known as the Stumptown Disc Golf.
Is this the green that dubbed the name?
I believe it played a role, and also just that this is, Stumptown, that there's old growth forest all around the Portland area, and
Ooh, Nico,
I have to
very
imagine that
inside.
this had something to do with it, though.
Nico gonna catch that inside tree to beat, and it's gonna be trouble from there.
Yeah, it's such a frustrating miss. There's a lot of space out wide, and you really don't need much distance. You just need to get around that tree and get yourself in the game. Pretty big hyzer. AB will have 270 into the green there.
Yeah, if you can be center or right side of this fairway, kind of how AB is, then it really opens up the straight line into the green where you don't have to throw that hyzer angle. Aaron gonna have a little bit more of a gentle hyzer from there. Nico looks like he's just trying to play for par smartly. Not one he wants to sacrifice a birdie look on, but it was smart of him not to do too much there. Aaron going to that goose zone. And this is one of those, I feel like every player, as you're throwing the approach, you just dream of tossing this one into the basket for that two. So inviting. Yeah, Anthony able to play that flat shot, and he had the chain height run, it looked like. Garrett going to the stable rock. He's got the two orange ones in his bag. Oh, actually, that could have been a putter finally.
Yesterday, this hole actually didn't lend any bogeys, and
Yeah, even on a simple hole, that's crazy to see.
which is crazy. But during round 2, we did have a few unfortunate bogeys. Still played as the easiest hole on the course. So we could see we're looking at 3 birdies here.
I remember last year when it was so wet, this little walk after this green was really tricky. Just slipping and sliding the whole way.
I actually can't recall a Beaver State Fling where it didn't rain at least one of the days.
This is only my second time here, so luckily I may be 50% with the dryness, which seems rare out in Oregon. We're getting some incredible weather. Anthony getting on the toe for that rotation, maybe to take a little bit of power off. At hole 9, a 420-foot par 3, very unique hole. Extremely challenging. The line is probably the most particular on the course if you're trying to birdie. You see this low-hanging branch up here in the center of your screen on the right side of these trees. Really kind of one of the key factors you got to beat. A lot of players will play a kind of a flexing low shot that tries to just catch a little bit of edge under here and skip up to the basket. You'll see Double G probably try to lay down that quick roller just to get underneath all the low ceiling stuff. And sometimes players will miss the line a little bit inside, and there is kind of a straight window to get there. Garrett asking for that to cut. Not able to. He's hanging out over on hole 10's fairway.
That's really hard to get it to turn that much. There's not a lot of room to shape the roller there. And Garrett using the far right side of that tee pad, even having 1 foot kind of off the tee pad.
Ooh, Anthony a bit inside, but he might find that straight gap. He does. Very fortunate to get up there, but left side of the green is very protected, and the right side too at times, but especially that left side. Aaron going to that raptor shot, playing a little bit slower of a disc. Oh, and he filters through that branch nicely. He was so close to puring that line.
Oh, that line's so specific, isn't it? I mean, he had everything right with it. Seemed to be a bit lower, but he finds himself at the edge of circle 1.
Nico just hasn't quite found his rhythm with the backhand, and this is a course where you've got to be dialed to score. Definitely not a green to get cheeky on.
I'm playing every hole like it's a par 4 right now.
Nico providing some entertainment.
Definitely an entertaining player.
Absolutely. Nico's quite the character. Oh, Anthony almost shapes that one. Feeling the frustrations right now as he just can't seem to give himself great looks. And
Nice bird.
Gossage.
How it's done.
Trouble picking up the mini. The better the bird, the harder it is, you guys. You know how it goes.
You want to tap, go for it. If that's, okay.
I always love how Garrett is very vocal in terms of pace or order of play, and always make sure that there's no question marks, because nothing worse than going up being like, oh, is it my turn? I don't know. And then you... Oh. Almost got the stiff chain there for Barela.
Yeah, we've seen a couple spit outs on this basket, and Not quite the front nine that our card was looking for. Gossage shoots a 3 with a double bogey there on the 7th. Garrett shoots a 4. Nico feeling a little bit of frustration. We could kind of sense it and hear it. Barela, of course, unhappy with a 3, but still quality golf. It's just when you know what the rest of the field is doing, what that chase card is doing. We're taking a look at the scores here. Eagle McMahon, 5 on the front. Andrew Presnell, 6 down on the front.
This lead card can feel themselves just sliding a little bit, and that pressure is mounting, you guys. It's going to be an exciting back nine.
Thanks for joining us here on Central Coast Disc Golf. From Connor O'Reilly, Nate Perkins, we will see you soon for the back nine of round 2 from the Beaver State Fling.